everyone, it's Miss here. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, thanks for stopping by. And if you are one of my returning friends, my kindred spirits, I thank you so much for popping in today. So I started to do my Christmas journal, and then I was just going to do it all offline and then just come on as I was decorating my pages. But I kind of thought some of you might want to just hang out and work with me today. The only goal of this video is to get my cover done, get my signatures in, and then I might pause the video so that I can organize a couple of the pages and come back and start decorating some of the pages. So this first part of the video is pretty basic, but I know there's a lot of beginners that watch. So I just thought I would review one way to do a junk journal. Now, I have also done this in my Daphne's Diary Glue Book Journal Part 1, which would have been more than a year and a half ago. It is in the playlist. It's the very first video, and it does show putting together the actual journal. So what I've done is I've used some very, I'm not going to say thick, and I'm not going to say thin. I guess a medium weight cardboard that I got in some Happy Mail. So if I was to estimate, I would say it's maybe 2 millimeters thick, but that's just an estimate. And I just wanted to recycle it. It actually came from Joy, from down under one of my Happy Mail that I had from Joy. So I've cut my panels, and my journal is going to measure roughly 5.5. So the front part is going to be 5.5, just under 5.5, and each page is, I think, 5.25. And then height wise, it's about 8.5. My spine is 2 3/4. So I've laid down my board, always leaving a gap between your front cover, your back cover, and your spine. That gap allows the pages, or your front cover, back cover, to bend. So if you push it up, you're not going to be able to bend your front and back covers. Okay, so I've left a nice little space there. And then for my front and back cover, I just used some paper from this year's Michaels The Night Before Christmas. So I got that paper pad. For this I needed 2 sheets because it obviously was too big for one sheet, and I thought I had a crack there. So I joined them together, and I pattern matched it so that you can't really see. The join is right here, and you can't see where that join is. I'll probably be covering the spine, but right. So I've left 1 inch. I tried to leave 1 inch on all sides, but this side it got pushed down a bit. So I only have about 1/2 inch, and I have about 1.5 inches on that side. But it doesn't matter because I'm going to cover these panels on the inside with this snowflake paper. So for my signatures, I wasn't really sure this year, kind of trying to put a theme over in my head, but I saw this DigiKit and I absolutely loved it. It's hard to pick up on camera, but it's a little bit pastel-y, but the colors are just gorgeous. So I've decided to go with that for my signatures. So if you are new, a signature is just a number of pages put together, sewn together to make one grouping of pages. And that's what we call a signature. So in my signature, my first signature, I have some of the pattern paper, I have some coffee dyed paper, and then I've just gone with the pattern paper there, or the DigiKit paper. Here I have my coffee dyed. For my first signature, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sheets of paper, fold it in half, which would give me about 20 pages, or 20 sides, because each would be 2 pages. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 20 pages. So then for my middle one, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 signatures. So that would be 16. And then for my last signature, I've gone with 3 signatures. 1, 2, 3, again, 4 pages. My spine, I'm doing a hidden spine. So what that means is I'm actually sewing my signatures onto a false spine, and then I will be gluing, taping my spine into my book. So that way you're not actually going to see stitching on the outside of the book. The stitching is going to be sandwiched in between the spine of the book and the false spine here. Okay, so I've measured it to be just shy of the actual width. So there's just a wee little bit there and a wee little bit there. And I've made it so that it's 2/3, 2 3/4, I mean, and then a little flap that I'm going to glue down, and then that flap will be covered over. I've used the same paper as the front cover just so that it'll camouflage the spine. And what I've done though, because this isn't that thick of a paper, is I've just taken some of this brown packing tape and this paper tape, and I've just put that on the back as a reinforcing agent. And I've already sewn in my first 2 signatures. So how I did that was for the hidden spine, I just found the center here across. So I found the center, and then I measured out 3/4 of an inch from the center. And then to find the 3 areas where I was going to sew it in, I just measured in again, found the center and measured out by 3. So there's the center and 3. And where those lines connected, I drew a circle, and then that's where my holes are going to go. So for my signature, I've created a little template which has the same spacing of you can't see it that well. I've also written top at the top so that I know that if it's a little bit off at the bottom, it's still going to fit because I'm using it from the top. So I like to take this and get this right in the crease, pushing it up to the top there. And then I take just a clip there, and then I'm going to take my awl or your pointy tool. I have a kit that I bought, oh gosh, a long time ago, and it was really well worth the money. I got it on Amazon. That's my thread, but it had 3 spools of wax thread, a little brush, nippers, all kinds of different needles, and then a couple bone folders. So I already have my needle threaded. So for this one here, the amount of thread that I've given myself is 2.5 lengths the spine. So I've just gone basically 1, 2, and then about a half. And I'm going to do a pamphlet stitch. So that's the 3 holes there. You need to make sure you take out your template. You don't want to end up sewing your template in. And making sure that you do have it the top way that you wanted it, which was that way. All right, so then the thing also to remember, it's whichever way you start with your pamphlet stitch for the 3-hole pamphlet stitch, that's the side that you're going to end up tying your knot. So I've started mine in the back, so my knots will be in the back. I could have left the knots in the front and used those as, things to put. I just want to make sure this is straight. Things to hang a dangle off of or something, but I've kind of thought that if I wanted to hang a dangle off, then I would just create another way to hang a dangle off. So I'm going to come up from the middle, and then I usually wrap this a couple times and put a clip on the back so that it doesn't pull through the hole from the back side. So I've got that clipped, And then I'm going to make sure that it is the front. So there's the front, there's the back, and it's the right way up. Okay. So then I'm going to come through the middle hole. All right. And then it doesn't matter if you go up or down. So I usually go down to the bottom, and then I'm going to go through that bottom hole. Okay, and I'm going to pull that through. Tighten it a little bit, but at this point I don't need to drastically tighten it. And then I'm going to go straight to the top hole. Okay, and that's this one here. And then through the top hole in the signature. Okay, and then now I'm going to bring this back down through the center. I just need to get a bit more string. There we go. And then when I go through the center hole, I'm going to make sure that when I turn it over, that I'm going, if you can see this, to get these strings out of the way, that this middle string, this one here, this long one, that I'm coming up on the other side of it than I had initially come up. And the reason that I'm going to do that is because I'm going to straddle that with either side of this string and tie the knot so that it secures that. And I'm going to make sure it's nice and tight without, if you pull it too much, you're going to pull your paper up. So that's good and tight, I think. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that's good and tight. Because the thing with it is because it's a hidden spine, and once you've got it glued into your book, you can't tighten your strings. Okay, if you go through your main spine or use a different way, then, but if you go through your main spine so that your strings are on the outside, you can always tighten it, where here you can't. So I've done a double knot there, and I'm just going to cut my strings. And then, before I attach this inside, I'm just going to make sure that those are tight and that the signature is tight. I'm thinking that that is tight enough. I was kind of thinking that that might be a little bit not so tight. I think I might try to. Thing is, I've already tied that knot. Yeah, I think it'll be fine. Okay, so then with our little strings, I've just cut them so that they're within there, and I'm just going to take some score tape and cover over the strings. Now you could glue those down, but just be careful that if you glue them, that you don't get glue around the hole. Because if you get glue around the hole, then it'll seep out the holes and will glue your pages together. Okay. So you could also take Scotch tape, but I'm going to use this to help fasten it into my book. So, and I want these as flat as possible so that my seam doesn't bulge up. Okay, and then this I'm just going to lift a little bit. Which I might need my pokey tool. Just so I can get this next little piece of score tape underneath here. Okay, and I'm going to go with a smaller size for there. I find score tape is very good, has a very good hold. Okay, so I'm going to pull that up and tape it down. Okay. So then I'm just going to get it into my book. So this is my front, and I'm going to start by the front seam, I guess, because I got the most score tape on the front. So I'm just going to lift this score tape up. And I'm also going to use some Fabri-Tac. And I'm just going to do this one side and then try to get the rest of it taped down. Okay, so, and I'm not really worried about the flap right now. I'm just going to do this one side here. Okay, so again, that's the front, and I want it to sit right down in here. Like so. Okay. Right, so I got that half it down. And then for the other half, I'm just going to grab these little pieces that there we go. And then I'm just going to put some Fabri-Tac for the rest of the spine here. All right. So let's press that out. Press it down there. I've been watching Christmas movies this morning, which is fun. Try not to start watching them too early, but I've been in my craft room, so I've had them on, so I won't start watching them in the evenings till closer to Christmas. But it's good to watch them because I don't really pay attention to them. So they're nice to have in the background. Okay, so now we just need to get our these flaps down. So I sometimes like to put a little piece of score tape underneath here too. So I'm just going to take this one here and I'll put it right close to the edge there. Most of the Christmas movies, I've seen them, they're the Hallmark ones, generally. And I've seen them many times, which is why I really don't need to pay attention to them. Okay, so I'm just going to get a little bit of glue down too, and press in my seam. Like so. And I'm just going to let that dry before I try to bend it. Because if it doesn't dry flat, it might raise up underneath my panel that I'm going to put down right there. Okay, so let's do the front now. So we'll get a little piece of score tape down there. The wind is howling. It's one of those blustery days, but thankfully it's not snowing. And it's not even raining. It's just blustery. The wind is quite high. Okay, so let's get this off. Right, and then I just want to put a little bit of Fabri-Tac in there. Like so, and get that pressed down. Okay, so I'm finished with the Fabri-Tac now. Just sometimes it holds a little bit better, I guess. Okay, so then now for our back panels. So because these are just going to be, I just want to get, I'm finished with my little clips now, so I'm just going to, and that needle, I'm going to put away before it gets lost. And I don't want Chester to end up stepping on it. Okay. So now let's get, although I'm not exact, I'm going to wait on the back cover because I might want to glue a ribbon under there for a closure possibly. I'm not sure. So that should be enough time now. And with that, you might want to take bone folder, press it in. And make sure that I could have even let that dry a little bit longer, which I think I will. Okay, so that's a start. So we've got our book cover done. I'm just going to let that dry. And we've got our signatures in. So I'm just going to go for now. I'm going to let this dry and then come back and we'll decorate a couple pages.
All right, see you soon.
Okay, so I'm back. It is now a couple days later than when I filmed the first part. I did some more of those flip albums, so that the mini flips that we did the other day, so I could get those out in the mail. So I think I've sent, I've made 14. So they are making their way to all parts of the world. So when they arrive at their destinations, I hope they are enjoyed. So I was going to put some pattern paper there, and I believe when earlier I was going to choose that, but I decided that I would use just an extra piece of page that I had. This is quite thin. I think it's 34-pound copy paper. So I've just backed it onto some craft paper. I did put it down already and realized I had it wrong, so I tore it off, and thankfully it tore off okay, because I wanted the border of this on the outside. So I am making a pocket with this, and I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to put in the pocket yet. It's going to be like a little secret pocket. So I was going to make a journal card, but then I thought I'm going to wait because I've got some Christmas cards that I had received that I might want to alter, I think, and put in the pocket. And then I can have that as some journaling space. So I'm going to write down some memories of some happy memories from Christmases past, which I will share with you as I write everything down. Okay, so I'm just kind of looking at the top and the bottom. I'm not going to get it perfect there, I don't think, but so that it looks okay. And then I'm trying to get this line, it kind of straight up on this line so it doesn't look crooked. Okay, so that's the front panel. Okay, and then that's where I'm going to have a little secret tuck spot in there, secret pocket. And the same with the back. So I hadn't put the back on yet. I had put the front on crooked and then realized. So I stopped filming and restarted once I tore the thing off it. So I bought myself an early Christmas present, something that I have been looking at for years, and I don't know, just felt that I shouldn't, I don't know, get it, but You only live once. And I had a little bonus money. So I thought, I'm going to go get it. And so what I bought myself was the little Mink foiling laminator. So here in Nova Scotia, we have a little craft store in Windsor, my stamping studio. And I was down there last weekend. It's about a 45-minute drive from my house. And I tend not to go often because, you know, it's the money thing. But so I went last weekend and I saw it. But I needed to do a little bit of research because I just felt that I wanted to do some research first. So I didn't buy it then, but it'd been on my mind. So I came home and I watched some videos, and like I said, I've been wanting one for years. And it was a really good price. So I thought, I'm going to get that. So I went down this week today and I got it this morning. So I was really happy about that. I just got to figure out, I can print stuff on a laser printer at the library. Okay, so I want to put this little bag down, but what I'm sitting here thinking is, do I want to do a pocket in the back and a pocket there? Because I could put a tag. I think I will. I think I'm going to just make this a pocket. Right there. And then it'll be like a double pocket. Okay, so I'm going to put this towards the bottom so that I have room to put something in the top of it. So I'm thinking about like that. You could distress the edges. I like a cleaner look sometimes, so I'm just going to stick with that. But in the mail, or not in the mail, I got this collage ephemera art journaling by Miriam Small Art by Marta, and I've had it, and I really wanted to make use of it in my Christmas journal. So it's all kinds of little fairies, and they're just gorgeous images. So I thought, I'm going to put her right, because she is so gorgeous. I'm going to put her on in the very front. So I'm just going to do a little collage thing on the front of it. With this, I have these little stamps. And then I have this little sugar plum, because she reminds me of a little sugar plum fairy at Christmas time. So I'm kind of thinking, I want to put that there, and I want to put that. So I'm putting this about there, I think. So I just want to get this down. Chester, he's having a lazy day. He's been sleeping on the back of the couch for the last little while. He has a little routine of where he likes to be at certain times of the day in the house. And so I'm kind of used to his routine. However, when he deviates from his routine, then I get a little anxious sometimes if I can't find him, because I sometimes think, well, could he have gotten outside? Well, there's no way he could get outside without me knowing it. So then I have to hunt around the house, and sometimes he's right under my nose. So he usually doesn't get up on the couch or the back of the couch until evening time. When I'm sitting in my chair, he'll get up on the couch, and so he can be kind of close. Otherwise, he's trying to get in my lap. But if I'm sitting in doing some stuff on the computer or whatever, then he can't get up on my lap, so he'll get up on the couch. So I was been in my craft room a lot this morning, or this afternoon. It's almost 4 o'clock now. And I went out to get a drink. And I was like, where is Chester? And then I saw him sleeping on the back of the couch. He was all snuggled up in some pillows. Okay, so I'm just going to use This is really thin paper, so I'm just wondering if maybe I should use a little bit of Fabri-Tac, or because it's silicone based and it won't make that warp at all. Oops. So I think I will. I think I'm just gonna use a bit of this. And I don't want it way up in her head or it's gonna close my bag. So I think I want it from like here down. This Fabri-Tac, like I said, is silicone based, so there's no water in it. So it won't really warp your paper. Whereas PVA glue, like glitter glue and Bear glue and Elmer's glue, which is what I use, is water based and will warp your paper. Okay, so I can put that right up to there. So it doesn't, isn't she just so stinking cute? Gosh. If she had glasses, she'd remind me of me. Just kidding. You could draw some glasses on her. I had glasses since I was 5 years old. So I was in kindergarten with these little glasses on. And funny, nobody really made fun of me until I got a little older. But I think it's because I was rough and tumble too. I thought I was a tomboy. Okay, so then we'll just put that, which I think is cute. And then I just took my little star punch, and I've got a bunch of these little stars that I punched out of some paper that I got at the dollar store. So here in Halifax, we don't have the Dollar Tree. We have the Dollarama, it's called. But they had these sheets of card gold mirror glitter, whatever. I love gold glitter paper. So I thought, well, I'm going to put a few little stars down around there because then that would make, I don't know, it would add some interest. So, and she looks like she needs stars around her. She's just that kind of girl. The sweetest little expression there. And then I think we'll call this video, I don't even know how long this is now. It must be half an hour. Maybe more now. I think 3 is good. I don't think we need any more on there. So so we got a place. Let's just put a holder in there. So we can put a ticket in there, a tag in there. And then I have another tag somewhere that I cut out. I had a big tag. Let's take this tag. Just as a placeholder. I think I'll put this one in the back for now and this one in here. And we can make some tags for next time. For these, again, I want to have a lot of journaling spots. I've made a little list of things that I want to put in this year's Christmas journal. So I want to write about some special memories, and I'll talk about them as I put them in. I'm going to put some old photos in. I've never really done that in my Christmas journals, but there's a couple pictures that come to mind that I would like to have, and one is I was born December the 3rd. So it's my very first Christmas with my mom and dad. And so that would be, well, almost 50 some years ago. So I'd like to put that in some other little photos. I want to put in some favorite recipes that, you know, my mom and my grandmother would make at Christmas. Some of my favorite books, some of my favorite Christmas music. I really love, you know, Gene Autry and some of those older songs, some of my favorite movies, and like one movie, which you wouldn't really think of as a Christmas movie, but While You Were Sleeping with Sandra Bullock. It is set at Christmas time. And I absolutely love that movie. And some Christmas cards and other stuff that I start getting this time of year are things that I would like to start to record in my journal. So I think we've made a good start. We've got lots of pockets and tucks and belly bands to do yet, but I think that we're on our way. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I'm hoping to get another one out within the next few days. Oh, it did crack. I thought it was going to crack. That got a little bit wet there, but I'm not too worried because I'm probably going to put a little bit of lace there. So, or I might do just a little wrap round, because you can almost see, I did the pattern matching quite well, but you can almost see the, where the line is. So, so we'll cover that up. But until we meet again, I do hope you stay safe and well, and thank you so much for just being with me and being on my journey. Yeah, so see you soon.